your Bestway pump probably isn't working right now, and you want to learn how to fix it. So guess what? Watch this video through, and I guarantee you'll get your pump working. So the first thing we're going to do before we begin to work on our Bestway pool pump is that we're going to make sure that the electricity is off. If you're using a power cable, please turn the power cable off because the actual pump doesn't have an on and off switch. So make sure that everything's off so that we can effectively work on this piece of equipment safely and to reduce any hazards. So you just purchased your Bestway pool pump and you hooked it up. You looked at my instructional video and you hooked it up. So you're probably wondering, why isn't the pump working? So when you first hook up your pump and before you turn it on, you want to make sure that you open up the air release valve. If you don't do this, right here, you're going to open this up and then you're going to go ahead and turn the pump on. The next thing that's going to happen is that the water is going to come out and it's going to get all the pressures out of the tube. So the next thing you want to do is make sure you open up the pump, let a little bit of water. You're going to know when it's ready, when the air pressure is done, so water is going to flow out. And then you're going to close the valve. And this is right here is going to reduce the air pressure so that the water can properly flow through both sides of the tubes here. Alright, so tip number 3 is that once you check the air release, you already lifted up, you saw water come out and you closed it, then you want to make sure, sometimes you got to adjust your tubes because the water may not be able to flow into the pool. So sometimes I normally put like a piece of rock or wood on each side so that I can see that the water is flowing through both sides over here. Okay, so you want to make sure you adjust these onto your pool. Sometimes people can lay them flat, but sometimes you have to like move them around that you can get the water going through each side. And you can put like a chair or some bricks that the water flow properly from each side. So that's tip number 3. So tip number 4, you want to make sure that you check your suction valves. Make sure there's no debris that's stuck inside of here. You can actually open these things up. And please be reminded, when you take these off of your pool, you have to have your black knobs in there or the water's going to come out, that's going to accidentally flow out of the pool. So make sure that you check your debris inside the suction valves. Make sure you open it up. Make sure there's no, well, this one can't open up, but you can unscrew it here. Make sure there's like nothing lodged inside of here. All right, so that's tip number 4. So tip number 5 is that you want to make sure you connect your pump to the right extension cord. Make sure the voltage is the right voltage for the different pump that you have, because if you plug this pump into the wall and the wrong voltage, it's not only going to fry your pump, it's going to fry your circuits in your house. It's going to shut everything down, okay? Also, make sure if you have this pump on, that it's not on while it's connected to the pool. It can stay connected to the pool, but make sure it's off at all times while people are in the pool. Alright, so very important. Make sure you have the right extension cord for the right voltage so you do not fry your pump. And if you already done it by accident, can you see does your pump have a warranty on it? I believe that every electrical product here in Germany at least has like a 10 to 15 days you can turn it back. So yeah, important. So another reason why your pump may not be working is because the filter may be a little bit been used too much. So you want to check your filter. The filter is supposed to be changed every 7 to 10 days. And in our pump, as you can see, the filter is very dirty in here. So what it does is that when the water passes through here, this material becomes, it absorbs everything. And if you don't change it, it kind of blocks the filtration system. So very good practice. I tell you right now that this pump did not work. And for the video purposes, we left it in here to show you that no water can pass through here. So normally, these pumps are very cheap. I think they cost us around 10 bucks, around that. So it's very cheap pump. Just replace it and your water will be able to flow through here. As you can see, nice and clean and white. Okay, so check the pump. This is unacceptable. Okay, unacceptable. So obviously water cannot flow through there. Just go ahead and replace it. It is that simple. Stick it in here like this. Put the lid back on top. See, as simple as this. Doesn't take a rocket scientist. Okay. Okay. Right, so that could be an easy fix to it. So this final tip I'm going to show you is that this is a personal tip that I learned on my own. So this is a warning to you. You could break your pump by doing this, but I was so desperate because when I brought my pump home, it didn't work, and I was like, my goodness, I gotta get through it. So, warning to you, the next tip I'm going to show you is what I did to get my pump working when it didn't want to work on its own. Okay, so please be advised on the next tip, you gotta make sure everything is turned off. I said it earlier, and I'm going to show you the secret technique that I learned. Now stay tuned. So basically, I took my Bestway pump apart, and I realized when I was taking it apart on the fan, there was two parts in here that was keeping the fan from turning. Now I don't know if this is a manufacturer defective product, but when I took these two parts off right here, I was able to get the pump working. The pump was flowing, and as I said before, the pump worked perfectly fine without these two parts. So if you don't want to spend no money, you want to take a chance of getting your pump working. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to show you how to remove these two parts. And yeah. So when you're working on your pump, like I said again, make sure the electricity is turned off. You also want to remove the two hoses from each side because it's going to be kind of hard flipping the thing upside down when the hoses are in the way. So basically, we're going to take it and flip it upside down. As you can see, there are two screws here. I'm going to show you where this part is located. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver or any type of star screwdriver. You're going to go inside of here. Make sure you keep all your small parts together. You don't want to lose these things, okay? Especially the screws. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to unscrew it. Okay. Okay, one screw is off. Okay. My little thick fingers here. Okay, gonna take the other screw off here. Okay, and like I said, this is what I did to get my pump working. For some reason it worked. I was desperate to fix it, and I had no issues ever since then. So I'll take the okay. Oh, all right, so as you can see, I'm not perfect. Okay, so now that I have that off, I'm going to pull it down. So now that you unscrewed everything, the next part is to go ahead and take it out. Now I want to let you know that the fan part goes on the A side. So don't forget, don't put it, when you're installing it again, do not put it back on the B side. You got to install it on the A side. So you're going to put your hand in here. You're going to twist the white part a bit. You're going to twist it. You're going to pull it out. You're going to pull it out. Okay. So as you can see here, this is the engine right here that we have to it. So once you got it out, you want to take this top part off right here. Okay. As you can see here, it's going to be, you're going to see this. And once you see this here, this is where you're going to find, you're going to have this in here like so. You're going to have it like this and basically like this. For some reason, this rubber mechanism is preventing this fan from turning. Okay, so when I took this rubber mechanism off, I took it off there, and then I put everything back together, and the fan was actually working. So let me go ahead and show you how to put it back together. So I actually put the pump back together, and I forgot the step. So I'm going to show you guys. Here's the moment of truth to see that your pump actually worked. We unplugged everything, so I had to plug it back up. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my pump on. As you can see, the pump is working. Alright, now we're just going to go ahead and put it back together. The water's going to flow through here. It's going to go through the filtration system there. And now you got yourself a working pump. Okay, but make sure when you're done, you turn the plug off. See, it works. So now we're going to go ahead and put it back together since we took off those two pieces. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to put this back on here like so. Okay. Make sure it's pressure down on it. Okay, so that's back in there. The next thing you're going to do, you're going to go ahead and put the white cap back on there by screwing it back on there like so. Okay. So now you want to make sure you put it back on the A side. Okay, so I'm going to stick it inside. I'll stick it in. See? Stick it in. And then I want the fan part. Okay. Stick it in there. So I'll stick it in like so. It's back in there. It was easy to put it back on. You want to make sure that the fan is facing up. Okay. Now you have to take it all apart. When you do it in the first part, I didn't show you all of this. I took the filter out. I took the filter cap off because I realized that I cannot get to the parts when I have everything on there. So next thing is you're gonna go ahead and screw the screws back in there. Okay, both sides. All right. Make sure everything is turned off. Okay. Okay. Make sure it's tight. Make sure you don't strip your threads on there. They don't have to be. Okay. 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 So next part is I'm going to put everything back together. We're going to put the filter back in there. I'm going to put the rubber seal on there. I'm going to put the top part on there. Okay. I'm going to make sure it's closed after the water was coming out. Okay. Then I'm going to put this. Okay. All right. So I just gave you my secret techniques to troubleshoot your Bestway pool pump. So if you like this video, it'll be amazing if you can like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. This was the last video to our Bestway pool setup series. I hope that you learned a lot from this video. I hope that you can apply it to your future future use of the pool. And if you like videos like this and just cleaning videos, helpful tips, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Next time.